Oh boy, here we are. Here we are. We are wrapping up another season of Big Brother Canada. Um, I honestly don't have a lot to say. I gotta say, I don't have much to
I feel
say.
like that tonight was kind of wild. I don't know.
No, it was wild. It was wild, but it was also the outcome that I also expected. So it
well,
also
yeah.
wasn't. Yeah, the journey was, but the outcome was like a womp womp
Sure.
womp.
Sure.
You
Yeah,
know.
I feel like I just more have like overall feelings on like the season as opposed to like what actually happened that we saw.
Right. Because there were no shockers here, right? There were no
Yeah.
shockers here, but
Yeah.
let's roll these credits. I didn't black everybody out, I did want to keep our normal thing here of making sure anyone who makes it to finale night gets to stay in colors. Okay, so kudos to these people. Okay. I am Kyle Petty, and I am joined by my festy besties, John Dunphy and Gina Morgino, and this is Strat Chat, your favorite reality TV podcast. Very presumptuous. So you can find us on the socials at Strat Chat Pod or on our website at stratchatpod.com. I feel like there's something going on with this microphone, right? It feels very hot. Doesn't it feel very hot?
I mean, it sounds fine to me.
No, all right. Very loud and very hot. All right, so we came into this week as what? Ty won HOH, right? With that little day challenge, the numbers being flipped around and so on and so forth. And he says, okay, Anika and Daniel, you're up there. Oh no, wait, that's not true. Didn't Claudia go up there? Who cares?
Claudia did go up. That's right.
All right.
That's right.
So yeah, Claudia went up, like blah blah blah. Anika left. Did anybody care? Any thoughts on Anika's exit? Not a shocker.
Yeah, I mean, it was
felt like a
not
scheduled
unexpected.
departure.
Yeah. Like Ty even said, he was like, he literally had only left Anika off the block initially just in case she made it to final three, so that he could say to her, like, well, I didn't put you on the block in this late stage of the game. But with the way everything went, she ended up leaving anyway. So
right. And like honestly, in these nominations too, putting Claudia up, like you want to go, oh my gosh, gasp. But like it doesn't really matter.
it doesn't
There's
matter.
There's only so many people. Yeah.
Right.
It's whoever wins the veto is
really comes
has
down
all
to
the
whoever
power.
wins the unsponsored veto. The unsponsored veto. Much to my chagrin. No one had anything to do with this. But however, this was a fun veto though, not to be glossed over. Wasn't this a good time?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Which one was this again? Why am I blanking on this?
This was going through like the BB Manor and all these little different rooms, and you had to find out.
Yes.
And had all these little puzzles. Like this is very fun.
Intricate.
Yeah, very intricate. This actually harkens back to a previous competition that we had seen that actually was sponsored, wasn't it? What was this? Didn't we go through? This was the same thing that we saw with the Temptations, and we saw, family members down at the end.
Similar, yeah.
Oh, yeah, the shopping one.
Yeah,
the winners shopping.
The winners, right? I said that was sponsored, right? Yeah. So we saw some glimmers of winners.
I like it.
Still sharp, even late at night. Still sharp. Any Hoosers, this was a really, really fun one. Especially because, like, the combination to that lock wasn't that a hoot? Was on the other side of like the bricks that I would never have noticed that. I would just give it up.
Who would? It was on the opposite side. By the time anybody saw it, they were all knocked over.
So fun.
That was rough.
Yeah, and we got a really great comment from Anika when she's going through. I heard somebody talking to me about whatever. I just ignored it, and she had no idea that she was supposed to unscramble those letters,
right,
to spell the word guest. Yeah, I mean, it really was a fun one to watch, sponsored or not.
Yeah. No, it was a great competition.
This is a good one. Oh, can we also discuss Claudia with the freaking water in the sink?
Oh
Because
my
she had,
god.
we had to make sure we got to get the water now to lift up the little floating key. Now this also goes back to a BBUS competition that we also really like to, we really like to see. That slip and slide sucker. Where, you get your water from one side, you go slip down, slip down, slip down, you pour it down in a little thingy, yeah, and you make sure little balls flat out and like whatever, and you go get
Here
your little
too.
key, and you go get who?
Didn't we see one of those in this season too? Am I making that up?
Probably. Who knows?
I don't know. It's so
I thought we
hard.
did.
Yeah, we
It's
go
ancient
to
history now.
yeah. Well, it's also because Big Brother does look pretty similar wherever you go.
Well, wasn't this kind of how the Brita one worked, or is that not how that worked?
Oh, the Brita one. Well, there were different layers to that one. I remember like some balls, right? I do remember something.
General gist of it, kind of the same, like fill the thing with
Yeah,
water to get the something out of it.
maybe. Yeah. I feel embarrassed to not remember a sponsored comp.
I mean, it was also so long
I
ago.
don't remember it. It was.
It feels like years ago.
Well, it almost was. Almost was. Yeah. So that's that. Oh no, that's not that. Get out of here. So Claudia didn't know how to get the water into the sink and blah blah blah. Well, how do you make this thing run? How do you make this thing run? And then this silly girl going back and forth with a little cylinder, going and then going through the little dog door and back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. What is wrong with her? And she still won.
Yeah.
No, isn't that the shame? Isn't that the shame? These
Even the fact
couldn't find this combination because on the other side of these blocks, all this other stuff. This girl was going back and forth like a fool, with this bathtub water. Not even the drink would have just done the same damn thing, whether the faucet was running or not. She had no idea, and she still smoked them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Was it like 47 minutes?
Oh, I don't remember what the time
I think she was about 48 and change.
Yeah.
And the second place person was like an hour and 6 minutes. Like she still won by almost 20 minutes.
Wild.
She could have made a sandwich and eaten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was a mess though with that water. I was laughing a lot because I loved her being like, "How do I get this sink to start running?" And she went over to some other hose at one point. Meanwhile, she had just stuck her arm in this filthy, gross water. And she's like, "I don't know where I'm supposed to find any water in here." It's like, look
the
in
entire
the tub
full bathtub
right next to you. But it literally, like you said, Kyle, it didn't matter because she still smoked everybody. So
smoked. That's really something to be said for the editing on here. We do have a quick question here from David. Hi, David. Wants to know how we would rate this season. He gives it a 4 out of 10. Yikes. I don't know that'd be that harsh. I mean, it had its low points, but 4. I mean, that's less than half. Jeez.
No, this is a hard season to rank, I feel like.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, I would still listen.
I mean, the fact that I know we keep bringing up the live feeds, but the fact that we were missing so much context of what was going on, the fact that even like in the clip show and the recaps they were showing tonight, there were things we didn't know about because there were no live feeds.
Right, but like,
the fact that, like,
but I guess it depends on what the intention of this question is.
But it's also like, like the season as a whole wasn't a great season, but like the cast was really messy, which like should sound like a bad thing, but it made it fun to watch.
Right, but I don't know.
Like,
I think that kind of made it a good season. Like, if you watch this season not knowing that there were no live feeds, you had to do the digital dilly-dallies and all this other nonsense, you just watched it the way like a binger might.
Sure.
This was a thrilling season.
The
The power exchanges back and forth were very exciting. You had a lot of explosive self-evictions.
Only one of the 5 pre-jurors was voted out, or like 2 or whatever it was. Only 2 of the 5 pre-jurors were voted out. Right, everyone else walked.
It's kind of fun though. It wasn't fun. I had fun.
I mean, I feel like they didn't really get to play the game until jury.
See, there was something very weird.
More negative than I would have said a 9. I give this season a 9.
A 9.
Oh wow!
I had a blast. I thought this cast was really fun. Like, because it's not their fault that there's no feeds.
Right.
Like, if I watch this not knowing any of that, and I just watch this through, I'm like, yo, this season was crazy. Like, you had this guy who almost left. He was so mad about this silly note, and then all of a sudden he just rallied, and he basically just won out to the end. And like, I don't know, that's pretty exciting. Like, the story is good.
If you're coming in as a Big Brother newbie 2 years from now, and someone tells you, watch BB Can 11.
Watch BB Can 11. Like, that shit was crazy.
And, right. And there's no feeds anyway. and now you're
Right,
just
that's what I'm
watching the
saying. It's not
season
really
back,
their
binging it.
fault. Yeah,
It
it's
would
not
be
their
an
fault.
entertaining season,
Yeah, come on
but
now.
I don't know if I could give it a 9 though. That's pretty high.
I don't know, like it was fun
I
because
had a
everybody
great
was so
time.
chaotic, but I still have a problem with the fact that like no one got to play until jury because everyone just kept walking or you know, someone had to self-evict for personal reasons. We don't really know what they are, but like really we didn't see a ton of gameplay until we got to jury.
That's fair. That's fair.
Do you know what was wild? Was Dan S in this finale,
Mhm.
a jury member, saying that on finale night he was finally getting to cast his
His
first vote
first
of the
vote.
season.
I
Like
shrieked.
that was wild.
Yeah, that was really fun. I hadn't realized
Um,
that though.
I would give this season a 7. I'll give it a
Oof.
7 out of 10.
Gosh. All right. Okay. And what was Gina's number? Gina never said number. She
Gina didn't
just
give a number.
no. Gina's just a naysayer right out
I
of the gate.
don't know. Maybe I'll go like 6. I don't know. Because
Ooh.
I had fun, but at what cost?
I don't know. Listen, I had a blast. This season really did give me what I would expect. I just wanted more of it.
Yeah.
I was angry. I was really happy. I was always super excited to tune in live. This season made me remember why I like this game. Okay,
Yeah.
we got to have conversations where we removed emotion like from gameplay and have different types of conversations. We got to see how that played out like in the house, which is something you don't get to see play out properly like on Survivor. You don't really get to see those things play out in the same way in the challenge. I don't know, it made me just fall back in love with what I consider to be the greatest game on earth.
Yeah.
I loved
Absolutely.
it. Sorry, I had a blast this season. I had a
No,
blast.
I do think it was great.
Yeah.
And like it's
Sorry.
hard, you know, it's interesting because the season just ended, so like it's still so
Yeah.
fresh.
Yeah.
I had a really good
So the
time.
things, so that's the thing too. Like you know, a couple months from now, or even a couple years from now, if I decide randomly to just watch this season back, I might have a totally different take and be like, "Wow,
Oh
this
yeah, yeah.
season was incredible."
Sure.
Let's
But
go.
like
Legacy watch. Legacy
knowing
watch.
certain things, you know, like just that there were no feeds and things like that. Like
Hmm.
with things being so fresh, I feel like this is the time when I still might be a little bit more negative about the season. So the fact that I'm still giving it a 7 out of 10, I feel like is pretty good.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
So what did we think about these final speeches? It really did not surprise me that Claudia cut Daniel right at the end there. I'm like, okay, fine. Let me not get ahead of myself. We didn't get a sponsored veto this week, but we got a very beautiful sponsored part 1 of the HOH, which I listen, I've never seen anything like that before, right? They really
That was a good one.
all the
Yeah.
stops. This is a beautiful competition. The costumes that they made them wear were really, really great. And I felt like this competition was very Survivor-ish, right? With like
Sure.
you had to make sure the little puzzle pieces didn't fall off, the whole spinning thing, had to make sure. Now, was there something in the water? I was tweeting during this.
The water had like the basically answer key of what the puzzle had to look like.
So it
Like
had
what
to go
which
in a
like
certain order.
yeah, like what size disc went where or whatever.
Okay. Okay. That's actually extra exciting, right? Because I did think it was very beautiful when Claudia was going like this, and she had a little mermaid costume on. She's going like this. Like
See,
that's
I
pretty
laughed
cute.
that the only person that they showed going through the water was Claudia because I was like, she is the littlest mermaid in the
Right.
competition.
I just I just wish they were wearing mermaid tails.
Yeah, that's the only thing that was missing. We had mentioned that like on Twitter, right? Because
Yeah,
that is something that we got in Big Brother 24. They
hmm
brought those little
that's right.
mermaid outfits in the
Yeah, but
rings.
could you imagine them trying to do this competition in a mermaid? See, the
Even
competitions
better.
like this,
Even better.
the competitions like this would break my spirit as it is. If I had to then do it in a mermaid tail, goodbye. I quit. I quit. Goodbye.
The
Even
mermaid
better.
tail.
Even
Even
better.
better. Yes, the sillier it can look, the more on board I am.
Exactly.
Yeah. But I thought this was a fun watch. This was a fun watch. And I thought it was very exciting when Claudia won.
Mhm.
Um, and there was a part of me that actually thought there was a version of this that I thought ended with Claudia possibly cutting Ty. Um, like once we got to the end of 3. Did you think that was possible?
I was
I
hopeful, but I
yeah,
didn't
I
think
was
it was gonna
hopeful.
happen.
Mm,
Yeah, I wasn't sure, but I was hopeful because it really did feel like it wasn't that long ago that, you still had the girly pops together in there and Daniel and Anika saying like, "Yeah, whenever we have a chance, we got to get Ty out." And I just felt like, all right, Claudia, maybe she's decided the smartest thing right now is to tie my game to Ty. He's winning all these comps. So if
mhm.
he's the most powerful player in here right now, let me tie my game to him, and then any chance I get, as late as it is, I'll cut that, that tie, and
Ah,
that would have sealed the win for her. I think
yeah. Well,
that
and
was the
yeah,
move.
that was
That
going to
was the
bring me to
move you
my
had
next
to make.
question. What do you think if she did that? Um, do you think that places her now ahead of Daniel in the eyes of the jury?
It's a
I think,
tough call
yeah,
because this
Yeah,
this was a really bitter jury, but like in my eyes, that's a winning move. So I really don't know how
yeah,
that would have gone.
yeah.
right, right. I think that especially watching the jury members go in there in the segments that we got, everyone kept saying like, "Oh, I think it's going to be Ty," or "I hope it's Ty that comes in next." And it felt like so many people were on board with, "We need to get Ty out. Ty is a comp beast. Ty is dominating. We need to get Ty out. Nobody's going to beat Ty." And then you see Claudia win part 1 of that final HOH, and it's like, maybe she'll pull it off. Maybe she'll
Yes.
be able to make this big move that
This
everybody's
is
been trying to
why
make.
you are the surviving girly
Yeah,
pop.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
This is your destiny.
Come on, Queen Pop.
Queen Pop.
Yeah, didn't go great. Um, so David wants to know: do you think that Claudia was thinking logically by bringing Ty to the end, or is she thinking like with love here?
It's interesting because I did see, while we all on BB Twitter were throwing a fit that she took Ty, there were a couple of people in there saying it's not a terrible move because if you think about how many members of the crown are in the jury, cutting Daniel isn't necessarily a bad move because you would assume that he would have the votes of his alliance to favor
Mhm.
him, which is a good point. And if like she was thinking strategically, I can absolutely commend her on that if that was her process, but we've seen so many times in previous weeks that she wasn't really thinking about it that way. So like it's
Right.
hard to kind of give her those props when I feel like I have to assume that she was just tying herself to him rather than thinking about it like, oh, I'll have a better chance to win against him, you
Yeah,
know?
that's interesting.
I just don't. How does sending the last member of the crown to jury make the crown want to vote for you?
Because if she's sitting next to the last member of the crown, you would assume that he's going to get all of the votes of the people in the crown in jury.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You're forcing them to now vote based on gameplay, not who they
Because
like.
if they're voting based on the alliance, he would automatically have what is it, 4 votes, 5 votes? How many of them were there? I don't remember.
You yeah, 4. You'd automatically have 4 because he would be there. So you'd have Jonathan, Hope, Kuzi, and Anika.
Right.
So
Assuming
So
do you
by
think?
so by cutting Daniel, they now
So do you?
don't have a member of the crown to vote for, you know?
right, so then they have to vote for one or the other.
So do you think that by sending Ty out, then that is your automatic, like that automatically makes you lose because the crown's not voting for you, and now Ty's not voting for you because
Right.
you're the
So
one that
maybe
sent him
maybe
out.
Claudia had a note. Maybe
Yeah,
she was
I,
dead
I don't know
ended.
that it's automatic, but it's definitely something to consider.
Right. Hmm.
What do you think about David's comment here, saying she knew Kuzi was bitter at Daniel? So sitting next to
Yeah, but
Daniel, you may not have Kuzi's. Daniel might not have
yeah, but
Kuzi's
how
vote.
bitter? How bitter? Because Kuzi was also bitter with Renee, at least at the end of that one episode. And then by the next one, she was apologizing and say, like, listen. Now she could have just been saying that for game, but who knows?
And I'm not saying that was Claudia's thought process. I'm just saying
Right.
it is something to consider in that moment. I don't know for sure if those were guaranteed votes for Daniel, but it's
Yeah.
definitely something to think about.
Yeah, that's
I just
hard.
feel like, I just feel like we saw the votes that we saw. Like, if you send Ty out, I feel like all of a sudden you start to get votes. Like, because even Jonathan, right? Like, one of the holdups for him, voting for Ty, whatever it was, he hasn't shown a moment to be humble yet. So, like, like, it is such a weird. This is such a weird situation in the game. Like, it's such a tenuous like situation. It really is tough to make it like a good situation here, like a good decision here. But
Hmm.
so it is easy for me to say like, oh, like she should have cut Ty, but
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with you, but it's so hard to gauge where the jury's head was at because there was so much bitter energy with each other and with the people left in the game. Like it's so hard to see where
Yeah.
their thought process was.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't know either. No. Interesting.
I do feel like, see, here's what I will say. By sending Daniel out, I feel like Claudia made her own arguments in the final two, argument section to the jury. I feel like it made it weaker because I feel like while you do run the risk by keeping Daniel of now the crown might all vote for him, now you can say, I've won more comps than Daniel. I've had more agency in the game, but I also made the biggest move in the game by sending out the biggest comp beast in Ty. You know what I mean? Like you can almost kind of, I think, overcome some of those, uh, you know, concerns about the crown maybe wanting to vote for Daniel by saying, like,
Sure.
listen,
I agree with
I
that.
I took out the biggest competitor, and while Daniel's a member of the crown, and there's a lot of members of the crown in the jury, like I outperformed him in
Again,
competitions and all that.
I,
So
I don't think Claudia was thinking about that. I'm just saying, like, as a
Right.
final two
No,
person,
it's
like
just
that
an
is a
interesting
thing
thing
to
to
consider.
explore.
I do
Right.
not think that Claudia had that
right,
thought.
and I
No,
feel
but
like
even
by
if she
bringing
did, I
Ty,
don't know
yeah.
that it mattered for Claudia. Like the more that we talk about it, like I don't think it mattered.
Yeah.
I think whoever
It's
she
just
she brought, she was going to have a problem.
Mm.
I
She
agree.
actually
Like
would have
there
done.
were a lot of them that were not happy with her.
Yeah, she actually would have done better probably against another girly pop.
Mm, yeah. 'Cause she
You
won more
know.
comps than
Unless
them, and
it would have been hard against Renee because again, like she had that underdog story of I was on the block
Right.
every week. So like
But
Renee would have been hard. Shania, she maybe would have had a case.
maybe, maybe.
maybe.
But I think she still had more of an argument even against Renee. I
Oh,
still
sure.
don't mean it. I don't think it means she wins, but still more
I don't
likely
know.
than up against a tie.
Mm.
Yeah, I still just feel like I know the whole crown thing is there, but I feel like if Claudia cuts Ty to go to final 2, that is immediately gonna overtake,
It's a great moment if it happens.
anything else.
Like,
That's such a huge move. I think that people in the crown would respect that, especially people like Jonathan who didn't want to vote for Ty because of his lack of, humbleness and all that. It's like the,
Yeah.
the person that took Ty out, I want to vote for them. Like even if
mhm.
Daniel was a member of the crown and everything, like I still feel like a move like that from Claudia would have resonated more with the jury, I think. Especially Jonathan, like knowing like
Like
Claudia's
maybe
his East
just
Coast pal,
Jonathan. I don't know that Anika definitely still would have voted Daniel because that's who now Claudia would have been sitting next to. So Anika, she's out.
Anika was the most bitter juror there too. She
Right.
was mad,
Anika
mad.
definitely would have voted Daniel. It didn't matter what was going on. Didn't matter
I think
who he
Kuzi
was sitting next to. That's who.
I think Kuzi would
Kuz.
have too.
Yeah, I think Kuzi would have been annoyed. So I don't know. I think it just kind of flips the crown the other way.
Yeah,
Um,
I think that Claudia still could have gotten Jonathan and Hope to vote on her side if she was against Daniel, even though they were in the crown, because they were not fans of Ty.
right. I think it's possible.
Mm.
I'm on the fence if it's as sure as you feel it is, but I hear you, and I think it's possible. Um, I think it would be a far more interesting conversation if that was our final two. Because there's a lot more different layers and directions to go there. It certainly would not have been, I think, the smoking that this was.
Yeah.
I do think it was interesting that, I thought that Shania was real bitter on Miss
Of
Claude
all
Claude, and
people,
that's the only vote she got. Did you
of
did you
all of
did you
them,
notice that?
I
Yeah.
was certain that
Yeah.
Shania was going to be the one to vote against her of all
Right, and she
people.
was the
Especially
one
like
outlier. That's
you
interesting
could
to
even
me.
see
Way
cuz
to
like
go, Shania.
in all of the jury segments in the jury roundtable, she kept saying she was pissed at Claudia. I'm so pissed at Claudia. I'm so bitter. I can't believe she did that to me. Even in the questioning, did you like
Mhm.
Shania's face when she was questioning Claudia? I was like, oh, she
Yeah.
hates her.
Well, she hates her.
I
She
was
hates that she's even
shocked
still
she voted
speaking to
for
this
her.
girl. Yeah, and she's the only one that voted for her. I like
I
that
was
at
really
least then
surprised about that.
yeah, I like that. That really
Yeah.
endeared me more towards her. Yeah,
I was really, really surprised.
yeah.
I also enjoyed Renee's moment when she stood up and just said, "I'm pissed."
Renee is crazy.
And
I love
I'm
Renee.
so happy that she understands that that's what the people want.
Yeah.
Like, way to go. Thank
Yeah,
you
she's
for that.
self-aware if nothing
Yeah,
else.
exactly. Yeah,
I love
awesome.
that.
Love Renee. Love Renee. So none of us got a winner pick this
Yeah.
I was
season.
close. I
We
was
all failed.
close.
Yeah, you were the closest. Yes. None of us clocked Ty.
Mm-mm.
Not a one.
He wasn't on my radar one way or the other. I
It
wasn't
is just
rooting against or for, not
it
at
is
least not
so
preseason.
wild to think that he almost walked pre-jury. Like that feels like years
Yeah.
ago, but like
Yeah.
what a crazy arc.
And I do wonder, it's funny too, because our final two ended up being Claudia and Ty, right? And we're talking
Mm.
about Ty
Wild.
almost walking with Zach. And part of me wonders if Ty didn't have that showmance with Claudia, might he have walked? Could that have been something that said to him, like, no, I shouldn't walk because this will end. I
I
like
don't
this
know if it had
girl.
anything to do with Claudia. I think it had more to do with, wait, there's a
We
lot of
don't
money
know.
on the line. Why am I walking away over a letter?
He still walked into that room with Zach ready to walk out. Some
He
people have said,
did, but what he did say in that when he was in there was like, bro, this is just a game. Is this too much? This is just a game. He
right?
I don't
made
think
no
that had
mention of
anything to
Claudia.
do with
in that
Claudia.
room, yes. But on Twitter, I've seen people saying that that Ty was the one that actually said to Zach that they should walk if they don't throw Hope out of the game. So there is a chance that Ty even instigated that whole thing with Ty and Zach walking from the game, and then
That
Zach did leave and Ty did not.
Well,
And
that I believe, but I don't
right,
believe that Claudia was the foundation for any of that. Wasn't it you that
especially
also
like
tweeted just a little while ago that like you expect Ty to drop Claudia like postseason?
well, sure, I did.
But you
I think I
also
said that
think
to you
that that
guys.
was the reason what?
Well, I think I said that to you guys, but what I'm saying here is maybe on his way out, Ty is thinking, no, Zach doesn't have anybody in this game. I still have a showmance. I still have potential people that could work with me. Why am I going to throw my whole game away when I could potentially still
Oh,
work with
well,
somebody like Claudia and her
oh,
allies? That's what I'm saying.
wait, hold on. Let's dial it
I'm
back
not.
then.
I'm not
Because
saying. I'm not saying like.
you made it sound as if like
he
Ty
was
was
like, the
like
love of my life is in
yes,
there. I
lovey
can't
dovey
leave.
on Claudia and said, oh, let me stay because I don't want to mess things up with Claudia. Now, if you're saying that using Claudia as a game person, because my game's not actually dead, and like
Right.
I have Claudia as an
Yeah,
as an
that's a different
ally,
conversation than what I
that's
thought you
a
were
different
saying.
conversation. That was not how that was really presented to us.
Oh wow. Wow.
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
if we both heard it.
yeah, I think when you go back, because you were like, oh, do you think like Claudia is the reason why he stayed? Like you made it sound showmancy.
Well, that would be the
And
reason. He has the
well,
showmance that leads him to
Yeah,
other
but
right,
it's
people to
yeah,
work
it's
but
with.
it's the
different to say
intention.
like this is a person I'm playing this game with versus
Yeah.
wait, this
I'm
girl is
I'm
in the
staying here
house. I
because I'm
can't
sweet
leave
on
her.
you. Right. I don't want to leave because I like you, girl. And I don't want this to end. Versus I'm staying here because I know I got you in my
I have a
back pocket,
number.
girl.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Two rag demon. Like that's two different. That's two different versions. I'm down
No,
for the
I
latter,
mean,
but
well,
not the former.
the general question is, do you think that's because that's what's funny to me is that it's Ty and Claudia, the
Right.
showmance in the end. Do you think that the showmance is what could have kept Ty in the game when he was so close to walking? And that's what my
Yes.
original question is.
Oh,
Yeah.
then yes. Yes, I do. As long as we are referring to it as a showmance in a game perspective and not a romance. Because I
I don't
think
know
that
if I agree though.
no, I think that leaving the house, he would unfollow her. Bye, girl.
I don't
got
know.
my money.
I still think that it was more like, because I mean, we saw him win his way to the end. I do think that his thought process was more like, I have this on lock if I just win more competitions, and that's a lot of money to walk away from over something I don't really care about.
Well,
I don't
yeah,
know that
but
it
but
necessarily had as much to do with like the people that he would have to rally with him, because we saw for a long time Claudia wasn't in his back pocket. He was kind of on an island. So I don't
But that
know.
was long after the
yeah, and I don't think that
attempted
he thought
walkout.
that. I do think that Claudia was part of the reason why he believes that he had his game on lock.
Right.
Like I do think she played a part in that, and I think that that's kind of where the showmance comes in. But like, I don't think it had anything to do with him being sweet on her.
When Arissa asked him, "You gonna
Oh
go
my
visit?
God.
Visit the East Coast after the season?" And he was like, "I'll make it there at some point."
I'll make it there at some point, right? Because I'm gonna have
Ugh.
mad money, and like I'm gonna go there because because
Ouch.
summer's coming. Yeah,
Ouch.
If
gosh.
Claudia hadn't, if she hadn't already thought it before that moment, in that moment when he said that, I would have been sitting there being like, "Damn, I should have taken Daniel the final two."
I'm a fucking clown. I'm a fucking
Yeah.
But then she
clown
still like
dick.
kissed him on the way out. The way that I would have been like, okay,
She
goodbye.
might as well. She might as
Yeah.
well just lay into it. She don't look
Yeah,
like a total asshole.
she
Ugh.
kissed him on the way out, but she also threw her other two girly pops under the bus for him before that whole moment too. So see, it doesn't
But
doesn't
I'm
seem to
saying like
matter. It doesn't seem to
even
matter what Ty does to Claudia.
but like
She's
my
just
point
gonna
is
go back to him.
even after he said that, she was still like, "That's
Well,
my
that's
man up there,"
well,
and
that's
it's
what I
like,
mean.
no,
That's what I'm saying.
no.
She broke. That's what I'm saying. She broke off the showmance for the girly pops, and then threw the girly pops under the bus for the showmance. And
Ugh,
then he said, "Oh, maybe I'll get there at some point about
woof.
visiting her," and
It's
she still kissed him after
rough.
that anyway.
Wolf is right.
And
Wolf
this
is
is the
right.
girl, by the way, that I praised in the beginning of the season for being the one. Oh, we have to take out the bros. She
The
found the most.
first
We all
one.
praised.
The
We all
first
praised.
one.
She found the most toxic bro that she could find, and
And she
stuck it out
smoked both
all
of her
the way to the
girls.
end.
It's just
Yeah.
my heart breaks for the Claudia we could have had.
Yeah.
Ah, Claude. Let everybody down.
Ugh.
Well, and that's that. Ty, the winner of Big Brother Canada season 11. I
Yeah.
definitely did not see it coming.
No.
No, didn't see it.
I didn't see it coming until like week 7.
I don't know the numbers. There was a point where I started to see, okay. If
I mean, once he started
gets
like breaking veto records, I was like,
Right.
okay.
Yeah, I don't know
No
what
one's
week
getting him
that
out of here
was, but once I
anymore.
started to realize, yeah, that I'm like, this man's legitimately just going to win out.
Yeah.
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 So that's that. Evil Dick said on Twitter that he expects this to be the final season of Big
I
Brother
heard a
Canada.
couple of people saying that.
And regardless if it is or not, he's done. He's not going to be potting about this anymore. He will
Yeah.
never speak of this show again.
I will say,
Like
people have
specifically Canada or just
Specifically
like Big Brother in
Canada.
general?
He has had enough.
people
Wow.
have
this
been. I will
version.
say, people have been saying from the very beginning of the season that Big Brother Canada will be canceled after this season, specifically because of the fact there were no live feeds. So I think that some of the people that are saying it now of like, oh, this is the last season of Big Brother Canada, it's just like kind of like a mocking tone, like a oh well, this show's over. Like everybody hates it, and you definitely saw a lower engagement on social media with Big Brother Canada stuff this season across
yeah.
all social media platforms.
Mhm.
So I wouldn't necessarily be surprised by it, but like I don't think that we know for sure that Big Brother Canada is going to be canceled. But it seems like Evil Dick, it's canceled for him no
A
matter what. So
number of people believe so.
I think that's all just speculation, and Big Brother
I
Twitter.
think it's speculation too. And what I have also seen is that BB Twitter only amasses what, like less than 1% of the total population of people who watch
Right.
Big
Which like
Brother.
because and that
So
is, apparent every year when people are shocked at the way the votes go and America's favorite
right.
player. And it's like we represent such
Right.
a small minority of viewers of this show.
Right. So it's like it's really, really who knows.
Yeah.
I still don't want this version to go away.
Yeah.
Didn't love everything that production, like did, but I still enjoyed this cast.
So
And
I'm not past the fact that I learned tonight that none of this is ever live.
Yeah.
Like that is crazy. How did we not know that?
I hope
Well, I knew
that's
that.
Kyle, I'm so glad, Kyle, that you also
Yeah,
didn't know
I
that
didn't
because I
know.
felt like
I
an
did not know
idiot.
that, John. I did not know that,
Because it's all
and
of a
I'm
sudden,
really
like
upset. I'm
I'm
really
going
upset
through the
about that.
tag, and then I'm seeing people at the Rob Has a Podcast like viewing party being like, "Look, I'm watching the pre-jury, watch the pre-jury, watch the whatever," and it's like them sitting with the people who are on TV right now, and I was like, "Is
Right?
this finale not live?"
Yeah, I did not know that. I'm very disappointed. I'm very disappointed.
I had no idea.
I don't know.
I
Yeah.
knew at least some of the evictions this season were pre-recorded because I mean I think John, you had brought it up earlier. I had seen people tweeting like, "Oh, whoever got evicted went home on Tuesday" or whatever. Like we would see that in the tags a couple of times, but I didn't think it was every eviction.
I mean, maybe like pre-COVID, like finale was different, but from what I've seen online, this is how it's always been for BB Can.
Was it like that last year? I don't remember.
Yeah.
I see. I didn't watch the. I didn't watch the feeds last year. Um, I heard they were always down, and
It
maybe
was
that was
hard for us
why.
to access it anyway, like,
Right,
just
and
from
maybe
where
that's
we
why they were
live.
always down because like it's not live.
I had
Yikes!
no idea.
Horrifying.
Which again, it's different if it's presented as like, yeah, this is Big Brother Canada, we are never live. Like we just like do like whatever, like fine. But like it felt like they were live shows at eviction night, you know?
Right, but I guess I was also we're just assuming it's live, right? No one said that. See, here's David saying, BB Can is not live. They don't have the
Never
infrastructure
knew
as
that.
Big Brother US, I guess. And it's like,
That's
yeah, I
how
didn't.
I've always just thought of Big Brother Canada. That like I know it's not it's all pre-recorded. They have live studio audiences sometimes. Post-COVID, they didn't for
That
a
is
while.
crazy. I assumed that it was just a couple of them were pre-recorded here and
Right.
there.
It is that is crazy to me. It's crazy to me because when you tell me that you're presenting this with live feeds, then I assume. Well, I mean, is it even an assumption now?
I don't
You show me
know.
live feeds. I think I'm watching live. Like, what are you talking
Well, I
about
think
then?
I think the thing too for like Big Brother Canada evictions, like they're not necessarily live, but we're seeing them like 2 or 3 hours after they actually were taped. So like they're still like that's why like all the live feeds are still relevant. You know what I mean? Like it's not like
Yeah, I don't
um
know though, John. Like, I still I got a problem with that.
well cuz like
It's not really right.
how soon, how long before BBUS eviction nights are the feeds cut normally? You know what I mean?
Like an
Is it
hour or
3
two.
4 is it
Right.
3 4 hours? Is it it's only an hour or two? Like, you know what I mean? Like but like
Sometimes
either
three to
way like
four, sometimes one or two.
right. Like
But like, all right, I that sounds correct to me because you shouldn't get to see that stuff right before. That's what makes the
right.
episode exciting.
But that's so if an eviction is filmed 2 hours ahead of time and then aired to us in Big Brother Canada after that, like are we really that far off from a BBUS season? You know what I mean?
But again, like I heard that a couple of them this season were filmed like a day or two prior,
Well,
you
this
know?
season is totally different because there were no live feeds. We're talking about a
Well,
BBUS
sure.
season that
Yeah,
has
that's
live
fair.
feeds versus a BB Canada season that has
Yeah,
live
no.
feeds.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
This season had no live feeds, so of course we're gonna get stuff all out of whack.
I don't know. I just allow me some grace in this moment here because I don't really want to give how I feel about that. All right, this is a lot to take in. Okay, I'm working through this now. All right, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about any of it. I'm gonna sleep on it and
David
have to
says
circle back.
there are scenes where the double evictions get spoiled because of not being live, so not as exciting.
Well, even tonight, like where I was,
Unacceptable.
but
Are you
even tonight,
kidding?
like after I had seen that post from like the Rob Has a Podcast thing, I was looking at the comment section on where I was watching tonight's finale, and people in the comments are being like, "Oh yeah, I saw this person tweet that Ty won. I've seen that like Claudia wins the first part, then Ty wins the second part, Claudia wins the third, and then Ty wins." Like that's what I'm like. People have known this all day long that like that was the format of the finale because it happened, I guess, yesterday. And then apparently, like on Twitter, there were pictures of like the jury members and the pre-jury members hanging out, and like the winner and like other cast members like out hanging out today, just like out and about.
Oh, I hate that.
Oh, luckily I didn't see any of that, but here we go. Tracy
Wow. Hi,
says,
Tracy, welcome to
Yeah.
the chat.
Hey,
BB Can has always taped at 3 p.m.
Oh,
Not sure about season 1 though.
I'm horrified.
go.
Julie would never. All right, because
But
she's not even there at 3 p.m.
well,
Please
where
don't tell me that that's
geographically is Canada? Like BB Canada?
oh
Like
my
where is
God.
it? Is it like East Coast or
Where
West? No, but-
that's going to be a clip. Where
No, you know
geographically
what
is Canada?
my
That's a
question
clip
is
right there.
no, not Canada.
No, I
Where's the
know,
Big
but
Brother
that
Canada
is what you
season?
said,
Is
so
it
it has
East
to be
Coast or
clipped that
West
way.
Coast? Is my question.
Well,
I
all
actually
their
have
stuff,
no idea.
Because
Yeah.
3 p.m. means something different.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I have no idea.
You
I
know
have
what
no
my
idea.
question is. Don't laugh at me.
I'm going to laugh at you.
You know I wasn't asking where Canada is on a map, okay?
Where geographically is
Where
Canada?
geographically is Canada?
That's
it's
not
in
what
Toronto.
my question was. Okay,
Same-
so East
same
Coast
time
is my
zone.
question. Yes, thank you.
And Matt is absolutely correct. Matt says Julie only wakes up to post a vague tweet and to host a show. She's sleeping the entire rest of the time, right? Because she doesn't even know what show she's working on.
Yeah, that's when they
Welcome
charge
to our show.
Yeah.
All right. So Tracy says that this tapes in Toronto on the East Coast. So our time zone.
So then, yes, 3 p.m. is wildly early.
Yeah.
I mean, is it though? It's only 4 hours before a normal eviction episode starts. 7 p.m.
Yeah, but I
Tonight
agree
was
with
9.
David. See, David says, I'm sorry. I'd rather see BBUS feeds go down for 2 hours for an eviction to watch it live. Absolutely. I do agree with that.
Is that stuff making it into the edit later on, do you think? The live show later on?
I think sometimes it does. Sometimes you even get it like in the Sunday episode.
True.
Like, oh, by the way, we forgot to show you. Bunk, bunk.
Right. I guess
And I accept
I
that.
just and like, yeah, we might get it in the Sunday episode, which is fine. But like, if the BB Can feeds are getting cut a little bit earlier than the BBUS feeds on an eviction night, and we're not really getting any of that stuff until Sunday anyway, like, I'm not all that upset about it, to be honest. We're getting a taped show, sure, but we're not missing that much. Especially if we're getting a lot of that BBUS stuff from the feeds on the Sunday episode anyway, you know. The real crime is just not having live feeds on this season. It's not about, to me
I don't trust
personally,
them now. It doesn't matter. Even if you gave me live feeds, I don't really believe you that they're live anymore. Everything is a lie as far as I'm concerned. I mean, listen, I'm turning in for BB Can 12. If there's a BB Can, like, All Stars, BB Can Celebrity, I'm tuning in for all of it. I'm not a huge naysayer. I'm like,
I just hope they
Oh,
bring
I'm
back
not
the live
out by
feeds.
any means.
yeah, right. No, I'm definitely not out. I mean, there's no
No.
version of the show that I would sit out for.
Sure.
Still
I
a big
still-
fan of BB Can. Fan of the can.
I
But
still rated this season higher than Gina did, by the way. We both did. Without live
Okay,
feeds,
what's your
so-
point?
No, I'm saying that clearly I'm not out.
Oh my gosh, get out of here, Streamlabs.
Streamlabs, get out of here.
What is
Streamlabs.
that? What
don't
is
know.
that? What is
started
that?
This thing. Stop. I don't know why this is still happening. DM Rocks is back in the chat.
Hey.
Sassing the hell out of Miss Claudes. Apparently, she's the worst runner-up of all the other runner-ups in Big Brother Canada. All right.
Yikes.
DM Rocks is big man. Sorry,
Honestly,
Claude.
I think I agree with DM. I got to be honest.
Ooh, Claudia's getting
Well, and, like,
smoked
it's
on
rough.
the Strat Chat.
I saw people on Twitter comparing this finale to like Mickey and Holly.
Ooh,
Wow.
damn. That bad, huh? Well, Mickey and Holly. Well,
I thought Mickey and Holly were both terrible. Just terrible people.
yeah,
So-
yeah. The difference with that is that I still actually. Is it weird that I still feel better about Ty than I did about Mickey?
Oh, it's not weird at all. There's nothing to
Oh, okay.
feel good about with Mickey.
And
Like,
I also like Claudia better than Holly. So like
Oh
they're
yeah,
giving me
I
they're
agree with
giving me
I agree with
similar
both of those
vibes, but
statements.
I still rate them far higher than those two.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
you'd be
I do
hard pressed
think
to find me someone that I prefer, like that I would prefer Mickey to. You know.
Cody, which there was a comment. I don't
Cody,
remember
Cody,
now.
Cody.
Hold on, Cody Nixon? Question
Oh,
mark? Question mark?
oof.
What was that? BB Camp? Was that 19?
BB19.
17? Oh, I was right the first time. Wow. Y'all better check me out. At 12:07. Yes. So there was a question here about returnees. Shoot. I don't know where it is. Oh shoot. Somebody wanted to know about the BB25 being like some returnees.
Oh
I have
yeah,
seen that
yeah.
rumored a lot.
Yeah, there's been a lot of that rumor, and we're seeing a lot of Cody actually.
Cody
Cody
Nixon?
Nixon.
Yeah, as being a potential returnee.
Eh.
What
I
do we
could see that
think?
being very problematic in today's
Yeah,
Yeah,
today's
yeah,
climate.
that's a rough one.
yeah. Um, I was seeing a few other people. I kind of hope it's not returnees. I really don't want that.
Yeah, I don't either. We just had an All Stars that was a flop,
Yeah, that was bad.
and we've had a couple of crazy
Ah,
seasons since then. Like, just give us a
thank you,
regular
David.
season.
Yeah, my question was: are you guys excited for potential returnees for BB25?
It's so hard because, again, like you said, like with 22 All-Stars, it's so easy for them to pregame, which is not fun.
See, here I will say it depends on how they plan on handling these returnees. Is this a strictly newbies versus vets type of thing where it's an 8 versus 8 split, or is it going to be more like the season that we had when it was 12 newbies and 4 returnees as coaches coming
I'll
in?
accept.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm cool with
like-
a split. It's just I don't want a whole season of returnees.
yeah.
No, I heard it's supposed to be halves and halves.
Okay,
hope
I
it's
feel a
not
little
that.
differently about that.
Yeah, Matt just wants another season of Jasmine hobbling around.
I can't.
I did see her name floating around.
Who ate
too.
the half? Who
Yeah.
ate the half?
I
Who ate
cannot.
this? Who ate my muffin?
I'm not doing that.
Gate.
Jasmine. If she's back, that's still her official name. All right.
Jasmine.
All right. Quit
This
the
this
podcast.
comment checks out with Cody Nixon though, because he somehow was America's favorite player that season.
Really?
So I guess that would be an easy way to get him in by default.
DM Rock saying that he heard the rumor that BB25 is people who won America's Favorite Houseguest from each season. I didn't know that. I didn't know or remember, I guess, then that Cody
Oh
won
yeah,
that.
because I remember Jessica was pre-jury and she was like campaigning for him all season on Twitter. And I think that season everybody was just so over Paul that they were willing to vote for whoever went against him, and the only person that really did was Cody. So even though Cody was incredibly problematic, people were like, "Oh well, he tried to go against Paul instead of work with him, so sure, he's my favorite."
Wow. Okay.
Oh God, could you imagine
Yeah.
another season of that?
No. No.
Mm-mm. You know what else I did see on there in the rumor mills? I saw that Amanda is supposed to be coming back.
Amanda from like BB15.
Yeah,
Get the heck! No way.
that's what
Isn't
I
she
saw.
like in jail?
That's what I saw. I saw she's coming back because her all of a sudden her Twitter went private. Now I don't know if that was like a joke or anything, but her Twitter went private, like, "Oh, she's coming back," and I was like,
There's
"What is
no
this?"
way.
I was
There's
like,
no
"Please,
way.
please tell me that's not true." Please tell me
I've
that's
seen
not
I haven't
true.
seen that season, but I have seen a picture of someone from that season being like, no, like in like those little graphics of like the projected cast or whatever.
It's horrible.
Amanda
horrible.
from BB15 is one of the
Disgusting.
worst human. Amanda Zuckerman.
Yeah, horrible.
One of the worst people.
15.
Isn't she,
The only
isn't she from Long Island too? Actually, I think she is.
Please no.
Long Island.
the only
Yeah, hometown, Long Island, New York. Yep.
I feel like the
Oh,
only name I
no.
ever hear from 15 is Aaron, so I don't know anyone else from that season.
Oh, there's a lot to not like about that season.
That's why I haven't watched it.
Yeah.
I'm like scared to.
Yeah, but it is BBUS history. one should watch it just as, you know,
It's just everything I've heard
as a
about it. I don't
reference
want
point.
to.
Right.
No,
No, it's terrible.
it's a rough watch.
It
It
is.
took me. I watched like half the season, and then had to stop. Kyle and I talked about it because we were watching it around the same time. And I watched like half the season. I had to stop. I couldn't continue. I was like, I need a break from all of these people. There are so many awful people in this house.
Mhm.
And then it was sometime after that I was like, you know what? I'm going to continue this just to finish the season. I love Big Brother. I want to see what happened on this season, so I'll continue it. But it is such a hard season to get through. But it definitely is required watching for all Big Brother fans, I think. Because it definitely is like one of those seasons that's just like,
Yeah.
what the
Yeah,
fuck?
it's just it is like it was hard for
Ugh.
me too because you know that was in the beginning of my Big Brother watching because Gina had really just put me onto the show,
Mhm.
and I was going backwards and I was going backwards so quickly that when I got to 15, like I was really only like 3 weeks into the show, but I had already watched. Because what did you start me on? I think it was BB 20.
Your first season live was 20. I feel like you had watched some of 19 before the finale, though.
Yeah, I think
I
it's
don't
like a little
remember.
bit, and I was like, I don't know what this is. I don't really get
Yeah.
this. I'm like, Gina's crazy, and I think
Because I
20 I
started at
actually watched
19.
live.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I started going back, and I
Mhm.
watched them in such rapid fire. I was really only like 3 or 4 weeks in when I started 15, and I was like, do I like this show? I'm like,
Yeah.
this is nasty. I'm like, these people are so disgusting. And I was like, do I even want to keep going back? And
Yeah.
you do, because 15 was just that kind of a year.
I also I don't think that Amanda's going to come back. And part of the reason I had seen this not that long ago, less than a year
I don't
ago.
think she really would either, honestly.
This was actually only about 5 months ago. This is an article from TMZ. Amanda Zuckerman was being sued by the Pennsylvania Attorney General for it says a former Big Brother contestant, Amanda Zuckerman is
Contestament.
being contestant, yeah. A former Big Brother contestant is being taken to court because Pennsylvania's Attorney General claims she and her company are running a homeowner benefits scam.
Oh, I did hear about that. I
Yeah.
did
Maybe
hear
that's
about
why she
that.
went private.
That's why
Yikes.
I was like, isn't she in jail? Because I had seen
Mm.
some kind of legal trouble with her,
I
apparently,
remember
where
seeing this
her
now.
and
Yes.
this company that what she was serving as like a like very high level, like a vice president or something. They were running like a scam. Yeah, I don't think that Amanda's coming back.
Maybe that was also the joke. Maybe
Mm.
like because she went private, like, oh, maybe she's coming back, knowing full well like she wasn't. And because I didn't know that story, I missed it. You did right, Matt. Contestament, that is a flarn.
Thanks a lot, Matt. Thanks a lot,
Mhm.
Matt.
Yep. Didn't
Man
even
can't
watch the
even say
season. Just here to
can't
sass
even
you.
say contestament
Just here to
without being
sass you.
attacked.
David said that Helen was also not that likable to him.
I remember
But see, we
Helen.
didn't watch this live, so like, I mean, Helen didn't really bother me as like watching from the edit, but like that again, we already know that doesn't mean anything.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. So
Right.
Mm.
I think she
So,
was close with Alyssa though, like Rachel's sister in there, which might be a reason that I might have liked Helen. But
see, what's interesting about that is that when I watched BB15, I didn't know who Rachel was then.
Mm.
So that didn't mean anything to me. I met her first
yeah.
because I was going backwards. I didn't meet Rachel yet, so I had no feelings about her. It's like, oh, you look like somebody we know. You look so familiar. I was like, does she? Who? What? I mean, I totally missed it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And David mentions here Helen she did end up throwing Alyssa under the bus, but in the beginning of the game, they were very tight. That was like week 1. Helen and Alyssa were like super, super tight in that game. I remember.
well,
So,
I mean, week 1. What does that mean? It's not been tried
well,
by the fire. It's not
Well,
real.
Alyssa from the beginning though was not well liked. So I feel like
No, she
Helen
was
even
not. No, she wasn't.
right. So I feel like Helen linking her game to her, is probably one of the reasons that I liked her because we knew that she was Rachel's sister. Like we found that out. So
Mm.
like
No, again, for me, it meant nothing. But gotcha.
yeah. But yeah, David says here sums it all up. Short story. It's an awful
Really?
season, Gina. Yeah.
I've heard nothing
BB15.
else.
Awful season, but watch it anyway.
Yeah.
Aaron's exit is fantastic, though.
Oh my god, yeah. The audience reaction.
Yeah, I just love when people get booed and things like that.
Yeah, we don't get that anymore. It sucks.
No, she's like, and like boo boo boo.
I wish they were still allowed to do that.
Yeah.
I wish they were still
this is
allowed to
fun.
boo people.
Yeah. No, not allowed. Not allowed.
I mean, the best we
Nice.
got was what was it last season? Who left and we just heard like a 2 or 3
You just heard like
slow
production
claps.
clapping.
Was that Daniel last year?
I think it was. I think it was.
Like that was great, but I would have loved a boo.
Yeah, I miss booing. That's part of
I
the
miss
fun.
booing.
No, I do. I miss it. I miss booing.
I will say though,
Um,
like as much as we all hated Mickey also when he won, like his like coming out onto the stage with all the confetti around him and the look on his face,
Looking miserable.
like when he was finding out that
That
like
was fun.
I've spent 3 months in this house and apparently everybody out here thinks that I'm a racist asshole. Like just the fact, like the realization of all of that to me as he was walking out was so satisfying because for weeks and weeks and weeks we'd all been sitting there watching, talking about how much we hated this guy, and now he like it sucks that he won, but like now in the moment that's supposed to be his shining moment, he's finding out, yeah, nobody likes you, dude, you suck.
Which
Like,
you would think would change a
really
person,
fun.
but from what I've seen, certainly hasn't. But boop.
what did he like to say to everybody? It's God, man laughs and no, it's man plans and God laughs or whatever he said. Like that stupid saying that he would
That
always
sounds
say.
familiar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Idiot.
God.
What do you think of this? That Haley, Brett, and Rockstar being contacted for BB25, according to the rumor mills.
I mean, those are all
Haley,
people
Brett,
I would
and
watch
Rockstar,
again.
Wow. Yeah, I would watch them all again.
Love Brett. Love to see Brett again.
See, Brett is so funny because like Brett is everything I should hate, but I loved watching him on 20. Like, everything he did, I would eat it up. He's like such a fun villain.
I mean,
I
of
don't-
course you want to eat him up.
I don't remember like I remember Haley, right? And she was with Fessy, right? on
Ugh,
her
I was
season.
rooting for Haley so hard.
Now, I
Oops.
do want to know, like, what would you guys think? Like, I don't remember, like, how athletic Haley is, like, but, like, if she came back to a season of Big Brother and that sort of, like, reignited her reality TV career, right? And it led to a potential of having, like, Haley and Fessy on the same season of The Challenge in the
No.
future.
No.
All right. Wow. Jeez. Oh, my God.
She's really saying no because she's over Fessy, and it's like
Right.
I would support this. I think that's really good drama. I
Right,
think that's a great reason to get Haley
Better
into
than
the fold,
this.
because I think that Haley would be a really really fun person to have in the challenge universe. Like I feel like she
Yeah.
would. I feel like she'd
Haley.
just be fun to watch. Like she's actually somebody who would compete.
Right.
See,
so
I
if
wanted
that's the
her to
reason why
win
we get
20
Haley
so
in.
bad.
Oh well, kind of knew she
Oh,
would
no,
win that, but like I
I
mean,
was
like
rooting
if
for
that's
her
how we
so
get her
hard.
into the challenge, I would take it.
Right.
We know that's how we get people in. You got to be entangled some way, i.e.,
Right,
Mariah. Like what was that?
Love Mariah. Queen Mariah.
Yeah,
Queen Mariah, based on
Love
what?
her. Love her.
John.
She's a star.
She's
Love
only a
Mariah.
star. It's like she's gorgeous, but like she did nothing challenge related.
She did lots. She did a lot.
You would have liked her just as fine if you would have run into her at Planet Fitness.
I don't know what you're talking about. I think she's a
All
warrior.
your love her has absolutely nothing to do with MTV's challenge.
Absolutely, it does. I thought she
know.
was fantastic. I love her. She's fantastic.
on. You're such a liar. You're such a liar.
She's a champion.
I mean, she's gorgeous
warrior.
and she deserves it. I just wish you'd be honest about it.
I'm
You're
being
such a
honest.
liar.
I appreciate Mariah as a competitor on one of my favorite reality TV shows. So if you can't accept that, that's on you. I'm sorry.
What are you trying to do? Get a promo code for her OnlyFans?
Does she have one?
Oh God.
End stream. Google Mariah the challenge OnlyFans. So stupid.
Oh
So
my God.
stupid. Any Hoosers. All right. Anything else in our Big Brother world here?
Think so.
I don't think so.
This has been really fun. I'm just so listen. I love the challenge. I love Survivor, but it's really been great to be back in a Big Brother environment. And say what you want about this season. No feeds. Yes, Ty's gross. Don't love how he speaks to other people, but we did get some good TV this season. It was a good game. I had a lot of fun, and I was really happy. Like to be here with you all. Had a really good time. Got shredded a little bit on Twitter. I really got the Big Brother experience this time around. Y'all really brought me back. Like nobody came for me during Australian Survivor. Nobody comes to me during the challenge. Y'all came for me. So we had fun. John also got canceled. We had a good time.
Yeah, it was a wild time.
We did. We had a good time. David has this other last rumor. Certainly worth discussing. Apparently, because of the writer's strike, CBS is thinking about another celebrity Big Brother, which I'm all for. Listen, I know that people think that I like celebrity Big Brother, especially I want one or two people who don't know the game, but the rest of them I want people in there that do. I love that you're always the little janky person like Meta World Peace that cast the wrong vote, or a Chris Kattan who's like, I'm just here for cake.
Right.
I like those people, but like I do want to see some celebrities that actually know what is going on. They have to be out there. They don't have to be A-list. You can give me D-list. I don't care really where you came from. I can be just as entertained from nobodies. So I don't care where you come from. Just know what this game is. And let's come to play. We only have a month to do it. Let's get it done.
Yeah. I also don't mind. We were talking about possible returnees for BB25. I wouldn't mind a couple of not a half a cast or a full cast, but a couple of people that were returners for the Celebrity Big Brother world. Marissa. There were a couple of fun ones on there. Give me Tamar.
Are you saying like in a returnees season or like a returnees celebrity season?
A celebrity season that has a couple of returners.
Gotcha.
I did see that too. I saw that rumor that it could be a couple of like all-star celebrities as well.
Yeah.
I would love to see Tamar back in the house. That's my big sister. I'd love to see Tamar back in the house. I think Marissa back in the house would be interesting as well. Do you think Misha would ever go back? Misha Tate?
Maybe.
Are all the Celebrity Big Brother winners winning? I didn't notice that.
I don't think I clocked that either.
Look at that.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
I also wouldn't mind seeing like Carson again.
I don't think
you know what I mean.
I wouldn't mind seeing him again too, but I don't know. I think he was too emotional a player to get back in this.
But maybe coming in now, he would play it differently. You know what I mean?
So?
Like,
I think Ross would play again. Let's get Ross back.
Ross would be a lot of fun. Also,
I loved Ross.
Love Ross.
And David King also says here, a lot of celebrities might be jobless with writer strike. So.
Right. We could get better people. Y'all need
maybe
this.
That's
fair.
Y'all better
That's
win.
Fair.
Y'all better win. You better play this game.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. If we're going to do a returnee celebrity, wow, we're going to go on a tangent. We were going to wrap up, but no way. Because we got to talk about my guy. If we're going to be bringing back any celebrities, I want to see some justice for Jonathan Bennett. All right.
Yes.
Let's see him back. That man got burned way too soon. Bring back my guy. Yes.
I literally stopped watching that season after he was evicted.
Oh, that's
I was like, I don't care.
No, Tamar was still there. Come on now.
Yeah, for that season, I didn't know most of the people. So once Jonathan was gone, I was like, wow, and I just stopped watching.
What were you like again?
Leave me be.
Come on, it's post midnight.
Yeah, I
Be a
actually
different
didn't
version of
catch it.
yourself.
Well,
Can you
be nice to me.
repeat what you said?
Be a different version of yourself. Rah, that's what you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Um,
funny as we're sitting here talking, by the way, about Celebrity Big Brother. I'm thinking about the Traders US, which was like half the cast of like kind of like celebrities.
mhm.
There's a bunch of people even in that cast that I would love to see play Big Brother. Give me like a Kate.
Yeah, she didn't just have a baby.
Yeah,
Oh, did she?
She did.
yeah,
She
she did.
did. But
Congratulations.
my gosh, Kate playing Big Brother, I think she'd self-evict. I don't think she.
Literally, she
I
was
think
trying
she'd get
so
really
hard to
mad.
go home in the train.
Yeah, I think Big Brother would be. She'd make her
I don't
really
know.
mad. It's too long.
I really think that if she got into Traders the way she did, Kate, I think that she would stick it out for Big Brother.
What do you mean got into Traders? She was trying to go home every episode.
But eventually she was really into it. You know what I mean? Like she was so entertaining. We had that one competition where they were pushing the barrels and she was throwing stuff off to the side. And by the end of it, she was actually like still into the game. I really liked Kate by the end. And she was really playing and had some good reads on who she thought were the traders and who weren't. Her attitude definitely turned. Maybe you need to watch the season again, Gina. I'm sorry, but like her attitude.
If I have to watch it again,
her attitude.
Yes, I'll do it.
Her attitude totally turned around in the season after that whole barrel challenge. She totally changed things up.
Sorry, Gina. I guess you have to watch again.
Well, because no, I remember.
Like, oh
when
darn! I guess I'll rewatch that show I really loved a lot.
The way you
because
said it.
no, that I said it that way on purpose. Like
No, I know, and
Kate-
it's funny. Give you the
Kate,
props.
like she definitely did want to go home at one point, but she totally changed her tune after that. She was really playing the game.
I hear that. I still think that the Traders is shorter, and I think that she might peter out. She got a second win in this
Celebrity
one.
Big Brother is shorter though too, right?
Celebrity is shorter. You are right about that. Yeah. No, she would be fun. Either way, she'd be fun.
I'd love to watch her on anything.
Yeah.
Literally
She'd
anything.
definitely be fun. Why? Who else in Traders US would you want to see in a Celebrity Big Brother?
I feel like
Well,
a good chunk of them already were.
Yeah.
Somebody else, y'all think Suri could win BB? Or is her target too big? That's another one that I would have said.
I think Suri could win in a world where, like, maybe you had a different version of Big Brother. Like, what if you put all reality stars playing together, where people are on the same like playing
Yeah,
field?
I feel like because how many times did she play Survivor? I feel like people are
Like 3 or 4.
she's too much on everyone's radar. I feel like
Yeah, she played
to
3 or
really
4
like do
times. I know
well
she
in
never
there.
won, but now she won the Traders, and they saw how she did it. So
Yeah.
I think, she'd have to play with other people who have also won, and other people who have played games that are also equally threatening. So that way,
Yeah.
because she can't play with newbies. Who would want to ever play with her now, especially
Yeah.
after seeing how she played the Traders?
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
Well, we also have, remember Ari from The Bachelorette? He
Mhm.
made the final. Stephanie, also from Survivor, who was close with Suri.
Right.
I loved
right.
Stephanie.
Stephanie's another problem. If she's not playing with other reality TV stars, I think she would have a problem as well.
Well,
But
this is
also,
Celebrity
like,
Big
if
Brother that
we're-
we're talking about.
But if we're talking
that's
about
what I'm saying, like,
Celebrity Big Brother, are we? Is this like reality TV stars, or is this just because?
Right, it depends on what version of this you
I
want.
feel like Survivor players aren't who you would cast on Celebrity Big Brother. Like we've gotten Bravo reality TV people, but
right, people who
I don't
haven't
know that-
actually been in this
yeah,
competitive.
I don't know that they would be casting Survivor people on a celebrity season.
I agree.
It's like mainstream celebrity.
Right, they'd have to be on different types.
I mean, we've seen we've seen even like Olympians like Ryan Lochte and like Misha Tate, even, who are like, those are like big competitors that are not just on like any
but they haven't been on
reality TV shows.
But they haven't been on a reality TV competition show that like requires you to have that kind of like game sense, you know?
Yeah, Celebrity Big Brother doesn't usually seem to be cast by people who have played similar like games. Like
Like the
No
only
one's
What
reality
about
TV stars I feel like I've seen on there are Bravo people who are on like a Real Housewives type deal.
right. I would like to see a season of Big Brother that did that though.
Oh, I'd
Yes,
be here
I
for
agree.
it.
Yeah, like I think that
I
would
just
be
don't know
really
that it would
fun.
be considered a celebrity
Right.
season.
It has to be something different.
What about remember Reza from the Traders who was out pretty early? Shahs of Sunset.
Hmm.
Yeah, I remember. I
Um,
remember.
and Kate also, a friend of Kate's, Brandy. Wow, you don't have to make that face.
No,
Jeez.
Brandy's been on
No,
Celebrity Big Brother.
No,
no,
no.
Brandy is fine, but I
Last
don't
face
care.
to Reza.
Everybody's like always like, oh, Reza, Reza. Like based on what? Like, listen, I didn't watch Shaws of Sunset. I believe that's where he came from. Fine.
Yeah.
If you watch that and you have a feeling about him, fine. But John, you didn't watch nobody's Shaws of Sunset. So why are you rooting for? I already forgot his name.
Reza.
Reza.
I'm not
Why do you
rooting
want
for
to say what?
him.
Who cares? Who wants to see
The-
him back? What did he do that was noteworthy enough?
I think he's just
to warrant
naming
this
everybody
I'm
on the
just looking at
Traders.
a list of people that were on the
Oh, I'm
Traders.
sorry. All right, I thought you were listing people that you wanted to see
He was
back.
He's
And
just
I'm like,
naming
was like-
people who are on the Traders.
I'm
He
like,
was like
why?
he was the
Why?
last. He was like one of the last names I even said. That's why when you made that face, I was like, "Why are you making that face at me?" I'm just reading names off a list.
I thought you were about to like make a case for this man. I was like, I'm going to stop you right there. You don't know that man. All right, he went out way early. He's new to us, and like he did nothing during his stay.
Well, he was very loud. That's why he got voted out.
He was very loud.
He was like,
I mean, if
He
he
was a
came
big-
back, fine. I'm not saying I'm not working against the man. I'm just not working for him either.
I would love to see, especially if we're doing newbies and returnees in a celebrity season, like Kate and Brandy, both in the Traders, now together on Celebrity Big Brother. That would be very entertaining to me.
That would be fun. We'd have to then also bring back other people then who have also played Celebrity Big Brother, because then Brandy has a leg up.
Well, that's what I mean. If it's a newbies and
Like a
returnee
mix of-
season,
Yeah.
Oh, and
Right.
you're saying
Like-
Kate then being a newbie.
like the BB25
Oh,
season. If
yeah,
people are
mixing her-
speculating, it could be
Getting confused, like newbie, oldie, like celebrity. I'm like, it's a lot of
right.
categories.
But like if BB25,
I'm
people are
putting them together.
speculating it could be a newbie and vet season. And then they want to do a celebrity season that's kind of the same thing, like newbies and vets. Like it would be fun to have people like Marissa and Tamar in there. And then Brandy, who has played Celebrity Big Brother, but also now throw Kate in, who's a newbie, but has an ally in somebody that's a vet in
Mm.
Brandy.
Yeah, that
like
could be fun.
stuff like that could be fun.
Yeah, that sounds very challenging.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of stuff they like to set up. That sounds like a good time. That sounds like a good time. DM Rock says that Brandy is blacklisted
Oh.
at the moment.
Really?
Oh, boy.
Damn.
What did Brandy do?
Yeah, I'd love
I
to know
am
about
so
that.
not on the up and up when it comes to the Bravo stuff.
And I'm also like not
know
surprised to
nothing
hear
of
that.
it.
I feel like she's not actually the most upstanding individual.
Oh,
David
yeah,
wants to know when they're going to bring the challenge on Big Brother. I'd love to know. I think that'd be very interesting to see like a Johnny Bananas playing Big Brother, or even Wes, because Wes is such a strong social player. I think him in a Big Brother environment would be.
Don't you not like Wes?
I don't like Wes as Wes, but as a game player, I
Sure.
think he plays a game
Right.
well. Yeah, like Wes
As a
irritates
character.
me. Yeah, yeah.
Fair.
But I think that he would play the game really, really well.
Do you think
So
he'd be
I-
targeted like right away though?
Well, again, it also depends on what kind of a season you're putting. If you're putting Wes on a season with a Suri and a Stephanie and like people like that, then no. Because again, the playing field feels a little bit more level.
Yeah.
Who else in the challenge would I like to see playing Big Brother? Oops, maybe that's it.
Who else?
Because you have to talk about who could be interesting in a Big Brother environment.
I already know what you're gonna say. Just say it.
Do you? Who do you think I'm going to say?
Well, no.
I think you may not know. I think it's going to shock you.
Then go.
I think it's going to knock your socks off. I'm going to say Anissa.
Oh, that's not what I thought you were
Oh,
gonna
wow.
say.
Yeah, I think Anissa. All right, listen. She might be a little washed up in the challenge. She's having a rough go, or you're rolling her ankles, things like this. Are you're gonna tell me she's not gonna scoot right to the top of Otev? She's got that. Get the hell out of here. She don't even need to use
Wow.
that rope. She's going scoot, 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 scoot. She's gonna be up there right away. All right. Those thighs of
Wow.
thunder. And I
You
don't
don't
mean
think
in a negative way.
her ankle
Nope.
will give out?
Not for Big Brother Carnival games. No way. Lisa would crush
Alright.
all those
Okay.
thighs. That's basically that's what Big Brother's
Yeah.
games. Come on, they're Carnival games. Big Brother Canada is a little bit more, but Big Brother US, no way.
Well, that's why Christian was so good at everything.
Right. Brandy apparently did SA.
Oh.
So I think that's sexual assault.
Mhm.
Like, what does that say? Oh, to another cast
Yeah, I
member.
forgot you're not as online as I am.
Wow.
I have
Yikes.
been
Oh,
I've been
and I say
trying
yikes, but I'm also not like. For some reason, that also doesn't like surprise me. Like,
yeah.
terrible.
Apparently Brandy was doing some unwanted touching and kissing to a fellow castmate in some that's what I'm reading here.
Oh, that is sounding a little familiar.
Yikes.
So no good, obviously.
Well, that's the end of that. Not that our fantasy cast was ever happening anyway.
You don't know that. Not with that attitude.
I know if you're going to be a defeatist. Matt wants to know if anyone from Survivor or The Amazing Race has ever played Big Brother after they played their show first. I don't believe so, actually. Big
that I
Brother
know
does not
of.
play that. They don't let people come in. They don't like that.
Yeah, not that I know of. It's always the other way around.
Yeah.
Now, what about like Jackie? Remember Jackie? What was her name? Jackie Ibarra?
Yes. What was that? Was that 19 or 18? She came. Oh, she came from The Amazing Race.
Right.
Yes, she played with that guy Jeff.
Right.
Yes, it was Jackie and Jeff. You're absolutely right. Absolutely
I think
right.
it was BB17.
Oops. Sorry, I got my
Oh, I
numbers
didn't see
messed
that.
up. But I did remember her partner. Hey.
Jeff
I'm
and
not a total
Jackie, yeah.
fool. I'm
Jeff
not a
and
total
Jackie,
fool.
The Amazing Race.
Yes. Okay. All right. So never mind.
Ooh.
It says Jackie
David
first
wants to
entered the
know,
house.
how do y'all forget Queen Jackie and Davon?
There we go.
Well,
Yeah,
Davon,
Jackie-
wasn't Davon new like to Big Brother, or did she come from something else? She came from something
Did
else
she?
first? Her
I know
very
she's
first
been on
season?
things since Big Brother, but
Right. We have somebody else new to the chat here. Jeff's here. Hi, Jeff. Wants to know how far Claudia would go if Ty had walked out earlier.
It's hard to say.
Yeah, it's kind of dialing us back.
yeah,
Fun
we
to
went
go-
so off the rails.
we did. We did go off the rails. There's other questions that will bring us back off the rails to derail us again. But yeah, this is interesting. And I still think Claudia would have gone far. Because I think the girly pops are a little bit stronger than we were giving them credit for earlier on.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I don't think we gave them enough credit. I think Claudia would have had a good ride.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see how other alliances might have played out, because at that point, when Ty was close to walking out, if he had actually done it, like there were more people in that house still than just the Crown and the girly pops. So who knows where, Claudia might have looked for other connections and alliances and stuff like that, or how any of them in there, because even Kuzi tied her game to Ty after he remained in there, and I think that ended up really pretty much ending her game, to be honest. Because I feel like she started to prioritize Ty in certain ways over the alliance, the Crown that she had just formed. Like, I still go back to that moment when Daniel C had the veto around his neck and asked Kuzi and Anika, should I use the veto on Ty or not? Should I leave him on the block? He didn't use he did use the veto on Ty, and he saved him. And then literally there was never a chance to evict Ty on eviction night ever again. he won every single veto competition or the HOH competition. And I
Right, but
wonder,
you've always blamed Kuzi a lot for that, but Daniel has always stood very, very strong in saying that like Kuzi did not make any decisions for me. Every decision I made because I
sure,
believed it was best for my game, and
but
like he's really been very, very strong on that. So like,
I do
if we're
agree.
going to say that Kuzi can't get credit for the good things that he's done, then we can't give Kuzi credit for that.
But see, here's the thing, though. I do think that once a move is made, now you're going to claim it for yourself. The same way we saw Kuzi claiming the whole chain of safety, that was all her doing when Daniel was the one that made the choice of who to save at the end. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
Kuzi has taken credit for things that other people have done. Daniel C, I feel like now I've made the move to take Ty off the block. And all the way to final three, I feel like Daniel C kind of felt like he was working with Ty, even though both Ty and Claudia all had every intention of taking each other to final two, from what we know. So while, yeah, like Daniel C has been claiming that move, I feel like especially once Kuzi's out of the game, if that move is getting Daniel C closer and closer to the end of the game, of course he's going to say, yeah, I was the one that saved Ty because Ty's still in there and maybe Ty can get me to final two if I continue to say, oh, well, I used the veto on you. I used the veto on you. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, that's also true. So sometimes we give Kuzi a little too much.
I love Kuzi. Kuzi was my favorite. She was my winner
I,
pick.
I
She
love
was
her.
my favorite. But
She
like,
was mine too. But
but I do think she made some bad decisions in this game.
Mm.
That cannot be denied.
yeah. And I still say that Claudia would have had a good ride. Like, so we're saying like the intention here is that Ty walked out earlier, being that time where he self-evicted. I even think that if Ty had left when Claudia had originally put him up, if that was the week that he left, Claudia still would have had a good ride because we still had
Oh
all the
yeah.
girly pops in the house at that point. I think if Ty left at any point other than this week, Claudia had
Yeah.
a decent argument.
Yeah. I agree.
I
I
think it was
totally
just too
agree.
late now.
I totally agree.
Oh, all right. Now wants to know if we're officially cracked. I've been cracked. I've been pretty cracked. We were
If
supposed
we're
to meet a
being
while ago.
yeah, if we're being asked if we're cracked, then we're probably cracked.
We're cracked. We're cracked. That's all right. David wants to know if BB Can should do All Stars next season or bring back fans. Bring back fans if they're actually fans.
I think it's bring back all. Should BB Can do All Stars next season to bring back fans?
Oh,
So like, because this season was
we're
so.
cracked.
I was like, bring
Yeah.
back fans. What does that mean? Like a
I think it's
fan
so
season?
like
Oh,
because this season was
No,
so
yes.
negatively viewed because of no feeds
I
and
understand. No,
things
I was
like that.
confused what Kyle was saying. I understand what
Yeah.
you're saying.
Do we
I
bring back
was
All
saying bring back
Stars?
like actual fans of the show, like regular, like just newbies. That's how I interpreted it, but I read it wrong. Do you think that brings people back?
I don't
I suppose
love
it could.
all-star seasons. I don't know.
What if it's All Stars just in that they bring back vets, but only All-Star vets, and then the rest of the cast is newbies? So it's like people that have won Canada's favorite or something, like really well-known players is half the cast, and then the rest of the cast is newbies.
Yeah, but are we the minority though? Just because we're like Big Brother super fans, like do like the more mainstream fans enjoy an All Star season? Like maybe that is
No,
maybe that is a
actually.
good thing. Yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting
Yeah.
question. That's not what I want, but as we said before, like we are BB Twitter, right?
Yeah, I
We
honestly
are the
don't know
smaller
what the
percentage, so like I don't know.
I don't know what the perception of all-stars seasons
Yeah.
are.
I mean, I guess if that helps save the show, then sure. Like whatever we have to do.
Yeah.
Doesn't make me super excited. I mean, I would still want a podcast about it, but
Right.
it's not really what I want.
Up.
Get out of here, Streamlabs.
Is that?
I don't know how to get rid. I have to like go back. Let's see what I want to do about that.
David King says BB Can would give twists and powers to the All Stars if it was All Stars versus newbies. That doesn't sound fun. It
And
doesn't
then
necessarily have to be All Stars versus newbies, though. Just a mix of them. I mean, I guess they would all have alliances, though, going in. So
yeah, I don't know.
well,
It's tricky.
I do think if any season's going to do an All Stars, Canada is pretty good for it because BB Can 10, I feel like, was one that people were thinking might be All Stars as like the 10th season, and it
Yeah.
wasn't. And Matt Blevins here was asking, has Canada ever done an All Star season?
But they
Not that
did
I'm aware of. Oh, did they?
5.
Oh, I'm a
So-
liar. I'm a liar.
So if they did one for 5, they didn't do it for 10. Maybe they're due for one. I don't know. Maybe Canada wants it.
At least it's my understanding that 5 was one. I didn't watch it, but
Yeah.
from what I've read, I believe 5 was an All Stars, and I believe that's when it got canceled and people rioted,
Oh,
and that's when
wow.
they came back for 6. If I understand BB Can lore correctly, because I only watched seasons 1 and 2, and most of 3 until this started,
Mm.
and then I skipped to 8 because 8 you can just watch during a rainy weekend. Because 8 was that COVID.
That was the
season.
COVID season. Yeah.
Yeah, you can kind of blow past that one real quick. That was another one that was really thrilling. I gotta say, lots of self-evictions, very explosive. You want to see people who never got to play the game until the very
Yeah,
end.
you were saying that.
Yeah,
I'm
never
seeing-
got to play.
I'm seeing online BB Can 5 was 8 newbies. Yep, here we go, David.
Yeah.
8 newbies, 8 All Stars. All people that were deemed to deserve a second chance on the show.
So there you go.
Um,
So it was 5. So it wasn't all stars, but so that's interesting. I wouldn't mind that in BB25, but I would want the all stars to be a smaller number than the newbies.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like the coaching idea. Coaches four
Yeah.
vets, all stars with 12 newbies, kind of split them into groups, and then after 4 evictions, let's say, kind of merge things together or something like that. In some way.
No. Oh, we kind of did that already. Can we just play
It's a long
the game?
time ago though.
Yeah, can we just play the game? Let's just play. No twists. Can we just do Big Brother like bare bones? Like
It'll never happen here.
So would you prefer a split like 6-10? 6 all stars, 10 newbies? I just worry that I guess you'd still probably have a couple of newbies that want to play with the all stars. If they're as good as at the game as they claim to be, they should be able to convince at least a couple of those newbies to get them.
6 and
further in the
10.
game.
6 and 10.
You'd only have to convince 8 newbies to join your side to, take half the house.
Or even if you did 8 and 8 and do how BB23 started with the random diddly 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 of the little casino thing.
Right.
What if it was 4 teams of 4? Because I do like when they start off in teams. I do like when Big Brother starts that way. What if we did 4 teams of 4 and it has to be just 2 all-stars and 2 newbies?
Mm.
Yeah.
And then you have no way of knowing where anyone's going to be. You're already starting everyone separated. So even if you're playing, even if you did any kind of pre-gaming, you're going to get a little screwed anyway, because you're going to get split up. You don't know how that's going to go. And then who knows how the game unfolds after that.
Yeah.
So I could get down with that. And then at least I don't care that the numbers are even. I just wouldn't want a pre-gamed all-stars to steamroll the newbies.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. All interesting theories for sure.
Well, interesting hypotheses. But all right, it's 12:51, y'all.
Yeah, it's getting pretty late out here.
It is.
Late.
It is. Yeah. So what do we have coming up? We have
Survivor
Monday night.
44.
Yeah, we're doing Survivor 44. That's gonna be at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. It's gonna be with our good friend Mikey and special
Mhm.
guest Billy Blanks from the Reality Guys. He's coming through. Yeah. That should be a really fun time. I'm super excited. meet Mr. Man. And then what's happening after that? Wow,
What is
Thursday, we
happening?
got nothing.
Well, I know we were toying with the idea of a Thursday, but I don't know if we ever.
Yeah, we'll have to figure it
I'd
out.
like to bring us current with the challenge, maybe? Question mark, question mark. We could do
Well, because
that.
this coming Wednesday is the finale of Survivor, or no?
It is.
No,
It
no,
is.
no. Isn't Survivor finale
No,
Wednesday
the
after?
challenge. Survivor, we're talking about Monday. But
Yeah.
then the challenge finale
Oh,
is
the
this Wednesday.
challenge is this Wednesday. Oh, that's what
Oh,
we were
that's
gonna
what it
do.
was.
We were gonna watch the challenge on the 17th and wrap it
Gotcha,
up on
gotcha,
the
gotcha,
18th.
gotcha, gotcha.
That's what we're doing, right?
Yes.
Isn't that what we said?
I know
Yeah.
we were talking about a Thursday of something. I just
Oh,
don't remember.
right,
what it
right.
was.
Okay, so that's what we're doing, y'all. So Survivor 44, Monday the 15th. All right, with Mikey and Billy. Then on the 18th, we're wrapping up the Challenge World Championship. I will be present this time, and I do have lots to say. So that'll be at 9:30 as well. Yes. And then we're wrapping up Survivor on the 25th. Okay, because their finale is the 24th, from my understandings.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And we'll be wrapping that up on the 25th. That'll be that Thursday, also at 9:30. And it could be post hiatus. We don't know what we're doing after that. But to find out, you can follow us on the socials at StratChatPod or check the website at stratchatpod.com. Throw us a like or a subscription. Tell your friends, your family members, even tell the people you don't like. Make them watch it. And that's it. Thanks for being a friend.